Enterprise TV, a tradition of truth.
Well, Nigeria is endowed with every attribute that tourism requires, such as the sites that attract people from all over the world to visit Nigeria, because that is what tourism requires, to attract people to your country or to your environment to come see the natural endowments or artificial creations that you have been able to establish in your domain. For example, we have the Obudukatu Ranch, we have the Jos Wildlife Park, we have rocks, uniquely created rocks around the plateau area,
and precious stones.
Niger, precious stones, mining sites, and caves, waterfalls scattered all over the country. And other countries are utilizing this as their major source of livelihood. And tourism appears to be one of the major area of life that can give everybody in a country employment, because it benefits everybody. So Nigeria is a place that I will call a tourist heaven for every.
Okay.
Of tourist heaven for every person in the world. Yes, because you look at our culture, our food, our environment, our weather. There's nothing you can think about tourism that we don't have. But all these things are just lying wasting. So because we are concentrating on just one aspect of life, everybody is dependent on the government. But though I look at it that the government have not done enough on the side of the tourist sites, because most of the tourist sites is suffering from what I'll call lack of security, which has affected even students or foreigners who wish to visit some areas. They are scared of either being kidnapped or molested. What I would suggest to the ministry is an appropriate documentation needs to be carried out first of all to know the tourist sites that we have in Nigeria, because the ministry should be able to tell you the viable tourist sites we have in Nigeria, and then what should be done to improve those tourist sites. Then create a budget to develop those tourist sites, create a roadmap on how to get to those sites, and then if it now requires even privatization of those sites for it to be managed by private persons or organization, then that can come to play. Because you must make something, you must carry a feasibility study, have a plan on ground before you can now sell it to the outside world for people now to come take possession and start developing. So this is what the ministry needs to do. People are hungry for places to go and all that. Then secondly, another thing the ministry can do is making it compulsory for every person who is in government to start visiting those tourist sites, because we say that charity begins at home. So long as you are in government, now there should be a time that will be created for leisure for people who work in government to visit tourist sites, at least to recreate their minds. And when they go visit all these places, friends and family will join suits and start visiting, and all these tourist sites opens, because the more people visit tourist sites, it will even create security. Because once those places are busy, people visit it time after time and all that, and it's busy, it will open up those areas, create drive away insecurity and all that. Then people begin to establish in those areas. There are sites that belong to federal government. The site that belongs to federal government should be managed by federal government. The ones that belongs to state should be managed by the state, and the state work hand in hand with the local government. Now we have different cultural backgrounds and different cultural standards in Nigeria. So based on every man's culture, they develop theirs according to their culture. That will make it easier for government. So that is what I actually try to. There is one thing about sites. You see, any site that exists, any tourist site that exists, is very, very unique in its own creation. You cannot find any site that is double in the world. So the white man cannot defeat you in your own culture. Develop your culture to its best standard, just like they develop their own. That will now attract them to come see your own site. Like we have waterfalls. Those waterfalls are unique. If you take snapshot and then display it, you will never see anyone that is similar to it. Now, in terms of our cultural dances, like we have Atilogu in Igbo land. Those who dance it, they travel all the way from the east to US, to UK, to different countries to go perform. And when they travel, they make money and then they make people happy. By the time you develop it down here in the east, and then have your time where you use it to entertain people, at the end of the day, people travel to come see you. It's how you package your culture that determines how people come to, how people get attracted to it and come to view.
Enterprise TV, a tradition of truth.